Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Carrie with the Unicorn Company podcast. And today we're going to be taking a look at the pictures that came out of the House Davion Force Packs. Now, we're going to go ahead and take a look at both of them here. And we're not going really in depth or anything. This is going to be a short video. I literally just got done with 20 hours of work in one day. So, well, overnight. But anyway, let's take a look first at the House Davion Heavy Battle Lance. Now, this comes with a Thanatos, a Templar, a Falconer, and a Thunderbolt. The Thunderbolt is a new sculpt, and all the other machines are brand new. They don't have any plastics releases yet. Starting with the Thanatos, I really like how it looks. It carries over that look of the MechWarrior 4 Thanatos, which I think it's a good mech, and the metal sculpt, it looked like a Thanatos, but it was lacking in some ways. So this is a good thing to see as far as that miniature. I do like its bulkiness, and it relays the feel of the mech from the video game, in my opinion. Next, we have the Templar. I kind of wish they had gone with the MechWarrior 4 version of the Templar. It looks like they've incorporated a little bit of the old design, as well as some of that MechWarrior 4 feel as far as how it looks in the front. But I kind of wish they had done the shoulders in that same style with the kind of bladed shoulder. I don't know how else to say that. Then we have the Falconer. The Falconer looks amazing. And mind you, this isn't really high res, so I'm not getting like super high res images here. This is what's been floating around Facebook. But I really like how the Falconer looks. It doesn't look weird, which the current Falconer does have some issues just in the way it looks, and it's no fault of the sculpt itself. It's more a fault of perspective and stuff like that. And I don't think they resculpted it after they redid the tech readout, because the tech readout totally updated the art. But I don't think they ever got around to resculpting it based off that art, which this is very close to the redone art for the Falconer. And then we have the Thunderbolt, and this is the TDR-9 NAES version, which honestly is my favorite version of the Thunderbolt. You can't go wrong with a rotary autocannon. I mean, I once too was a Fed rat before I discovered what being a mercenary was, and I like the fact that they've included a part to allow you to either have the cockpit, the hatch, or it looks like you can have a cockpit window on the front, which I think they did that because there have been a lot of people who paint the Thunderbolt to have that hatch be a window, and this is generally it just makes it where that hatch is now a window instead, which I'm going to have to see how it looks in person before I determine if I really like that or not. But I think that's a cool option. That way, if you want to have that as a window, you can have that as a window, and nobody can sit there and say, well, that's supposed to be a cockpit hatch. No, I mean, it can be either or as far as that version of the miniature is concerned. Now, the other force pack we're looking at here, and like I said, quick look over. This is the House Davion Cavalry Lance. Now, the Cavalry Lance comes with a Legionnaire, a Gunsmith, a Hellspawn, and an Enforcer. Now, to be fair, out of all of these, the one that I'm least enthused about is the Enforcer. Yeah, it looks like, I don't know which version of the Enforcer it is, but it's another Enforcer. We have tons of Enforcers. Yay. What I would suggest, or would have suggested, I guess, would either to be the Centurion with the rotary autocannon, because House Davion, rotary autocannons, I mean, you got one in there, or the Omni Centurion from the Dark Age, which I think is an interesting looking mech, although I do think certain aspects like the shoulder, y'all know what I'm talking about, like the not exhaust ports that were on the shoulder of it, those kind of need to go away. It looks a lot better without them. So with this, the Hellspawn looks really good. I like how it looks. Once again, it brings over a lot of that feel from the MechWarrior 4 video game, and I think they've captured it really well. The Enforcer, it's an Enforcer. Nothing really special to say there. The Gunsmith. Now, I have a friend who swears by the Gunsmith. He absolutely loves the Gunsmith. And personally, I think it's a good design. I think it has re-engineered lasers, if I recall correctly. So it's useful against reflective armor targets. I'd have to look and see. As far as the size of it, I don't recall the weight of the Gunsmith. I want to say it's like 20 to 30 tons, somewhere in there. I know it's not very heavily armed. It's decently fast. It's a good design. And finally, the Legionnaire. And what I think is really neat about this... Okay, so first of all, I know I'm cutting myself off, but first of all, the hands look like hands. They don't look like manipulators, which, yeah, hands are manipulators, but they look like what you would see on a 20th century robotic arm almost. Those look like mech hands. Second, you'll notice a second gun with the Legionnaire. So you have what looks like a rotary autocannon mounted on it. And if you're not paying attention, you would think that there's a weapon mounted off to the mech's left side, left of the autocannon. But what I think that is the PPC. I want to say it's an ER PPC or a heavy PPC. I can't recall. It's one of the two. And I have a feeling that you can swap those two out, which means that depending on how they've designed it, you can magnetize it so that you can have one or the other, or obviously be gluing one in place. Either way, I think that's a really awesome feature to have, because that allows you to build it whichever one you would want. I want to say the rotary autocannon's a D variant, and the PPC has the K label on it, but I don't think it's actually a Karita variant. I think it's just something House Davion slapped together. So that is pretty much it for today. Like I said, I wanted to go ahead and talk about these, because the pictures came out. Wanted to give my thoughts on them. Of course, I do want to thank all of my patrons. You are wonderful, and I thank all of you for supporting me. If you want to help support what I'm doing here, you can go to patreon.com/unicorn company. There will also be a link in the description below. And another way to support us is to go to one of our wonderful sponsors, either Fortress Miniatures and Games at fortressminiaturesandgames.com. Bobby is an awesome guy, and he has just about anything you need for BattleTech. And he constantly gets restocks. He carries decals, metal miniatures, plastic miniatures. He even carries loose plastic miniatures, which come in really handy sometimes. And I want to say that's it for today. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more of what we're doing here, or what I'm doing here, I guess, then please hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell to get notifications. And yeah, that's everything. So I hope you all have a great day, great evening, great whatever it is where you are. This is Carrie signing off.
I'm gonna find my meaning, I can make a change. I wanna play the game. You wanna sink or swim? I'm gonna